Welcome to the It Matters podcast. I'm your host, Walter Perez, and let's dive in as we help you grow your mindset and elevate your leadership. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the podcast. Hey, thank you for joining me once again. And I'm excited for this episode. But first, can I ask you for a favor? If you have been impacted by this podcast, if you haven't liked, if you haven't followed, shared, or commented on any of the episodes, can you go do that? I would love to hear from you. If this has been impacting you, can you share it with somebody else? I mean, we're on a mission to help people lead well. And with your help, I think we can definitely do that. And so thank you for the support you're showing. And I'm excited for this episode. I want to talk to you about the art of pivoting. And so I was thinking about this because I'm thinking, there's 2 months in, we're 2 months into the new year. And how are you doing? I mean, I've had to do some reflection because there's been things that I've had to adjust along the way. And what actually really prompted this episode was that I was reminded of a thing I read a little while back. And it says that the second Friday of January is called Quitter's Day. The second Friday of January is called Quitter's Day. And it's called Quitter's Day because that is the most common day that people will quit their resolutions. And so I'm like, oh my goodness, it's crazy that it's been given a day. And so forget about 2 weeks into the new year. How are you doing 2 months into the new year? Have you quit? Are you one of those people that put a resolution together or had some goals and dreams and you've decided to give up because things didn't go as planned? Well, can I encourage you today to forget all that and get right back up and continue on those goals that you had set before? If you fell off the horse, get back on it and start riding again. If you're going to have any sort of breakthrough, you're going to have to be willing to trip, fail, fall, but you're going to have to be willing to dust yourself off and get back on it and move forward. And so I want to encourage you to do that because it's so important to learn how to pivot. And sometimes the reason we don't pivot in life is because we have this perfectionism mindset and not this growth mindset. And you've heard me say that multiple times, but I have to repeat it because it's so important. It's so important that we continue to grow. It's important that we continue to adjust and learn along the way. And so you're going to have to be willing to get uncomfortable. You're going to have to be willing to try new things. And so this is the fact, guys. If you're going to want to do things that you've never done before, if you're going to want to obtain things that you've never had before, if you're going to want to reach levels that you've never been at before, you're going to have to learn how to pivot, get uncomfortable, so then you can learn and actually pursue those things. I think it's very important to keep that on mind. And let me remind you, I'm calling this the art of pivoting, not the science of pivoting. See, it's an art because for all of us, we're going to have different scenarios, different situations. Certain things that work for me are not going to work for you. Some things that will work for you will not work for the other. But it's an art. You learn to figure it out. You learn that, hey, this season's a little bit different. I'm just going to learn to adjust here. I'm going to learn to try this new thing. I'm gonna try to do it this way. And you're going to figure out that it's never going to come perfect. And that's the important part here. And first of all, are you willing to pivot? Are you willing to pivot? Because if you're not, you're going to end up staying in your comfort zone. And if you end up staying in your comfort zone, you're never going to stretch. And if there's one thing that I have learned is that you will find growth outside of your comfort zone. You're going to grow outside of your comfort zone. Nothing great has ever come out of you staying comfortable and not willing to stretch yourself. But that's the key thing. You got to be willing to stretch yourself and get uncomfortable in order to see some sort of growth. So why do we need to pivot in life? Why would we need to change and why would we need to grow? See, there's some thoughts that come to mind that I think will maybe play a role into limiting us in creating this art of pivoting. And some thoughts for you. Maybe it is that things didn't go as planned. Don't you hate that? Don't you hate when you said, okay, no, I'm going to wake up every day at this time and I'm going to do A, B, and C. And then one day comes along and you end up sleeping in. Something else comes up that you ended up staying super late and there's no way that you could have the energy to get up early the next day. Or a project that you were working on, an assignment that you were working on, there were some other factors that you didn't consider and you weren't able to get it done on time or as early as you wish you could have. These things, when these things don't go as planned, can get us stuck and say, oh, now I'm going to quit. Now I'm going to quit because uh, I wanted it to look a certain way and it didn't. So I'm done. Come on. You know that things never go on as planned. And yes, maybe some things in your life do, but not everything. And so you're going to have to get out of this. Everything needs to go as planned mindset if you're going to accomplish anything great. Okay, well, how about this? When things get hard, have you felt that things got a little bit too hard? You thought it was going to be a little bit easier to accomplish whatever you were doing. You thought everything was going to come together so nicely, and you didn't think it was going to be that hard. Did you think that the ladder to success was going to be very easy? It was just going to be one step at a time, just a flow. Was that the mindset that you walked into that? And so maybe you thought, oh my goodness, I didn't think I was going to feel so busy. I didn't think I was going to feel so tired. Maybe you didn't realize there was going to be a big learning curve in that, and now you think it's so hard. That might be keeping you from pivoting, and I need you to embrace this idea that doing hard things is okay and it's actually beneficial for you, because the things that you're going to learn along the way are going to blow your mind. How about when you don't see the results that you were planning? You said, hey, you read in a book that if you read X amount of books a year, that you're going to be at this level in your life or in your business. You thought that if you were going to consistently work out every day for a couple of weeks, that you were going to lose X amount of pounds, and you didn't see that. Maybe you thought that if you put an X amount of effort into your business, you were going to see some business growth, like the guy that's on social media or these other people that you've seen build amazing businesses. But that's not the story that you're telling, and that's not what it looks like for you. So now you're kind of discouraged because you're not seeing the results that you were hoping. Does that mean that it's not going to work? No, I don't think so. I think that you need to pivot. I think that you need to be like, oh, maybe the thing that I was doing is not what I'm supposed to be doing, and I need to just adjust a little bit. I need to kind of work on doing it a little bit different. I need to prep differently. I need to practice different, and so that's something to think about. How about when you face resistance? What would that look like? Maybe some negativity. Do we have people in our lives that don't fully believe in what we're doing? Yeah, I got my hand up. What about um, you know, um, you're just letting these obstacles that are probably getting in your way, that are not making you feel like everything's flowing just nicely. What if you had an important meeting that you wanted to get accomplished to be able to move a project forward, but that meeting got canceled, and now it's going to be a week later? Are you letting these obstacles discourage you? Are they pushing you to the breaking point that you would want to quit on your dreams, that you want to quit on that goal or that vision that you have for your life? I want you to think about that, because maybe it's time to reassess and go, okay, maybe my why is not big enough. Maybe I don't have a big enough why, that I need to be looking at the forefront of every day. Every day that I'm waking up, I need to see that at the forefront of my mind and say, this is why I'm waking up today. And this is why I'm building this type of business. This is why I'm building this type of life. Maybe you're just not realizing that, hey, things are going to be hard. And I lied to myself that I thought everything that I was going to do this year was going to be easy. Have you stopped and thought about that? Have you thought about, like, wait a minute, maybe maybe I'm gonna have to get a little bit uncomfortable. Maybe I'm gonna have to learn how to not only pivot, but I'm gonna have to learn how to adjust along the way. Maybe I'm gonna have to learn to adapt to new ways of doing things. I'm gonna have to change. I'm gonna have to learn new ways. I'm gonna have to learn new things. Hey, do you know that you don't know it all? Hey, if you accept that sooner than later, you're gonna realize that, oh my goodness, I gotta be a student. I gotta be a lifelong learner, and that I actually don't know everything. And then maybe if you did, you would have accomplished those things that you wanted to a long time ago. And so, can I encourage you to be a student and be willing to learn, adapt, change, allow people to speak into your life, learn from your mistakes, learn from what's not working, learn from what is working as well. Learn to reflect on those things so you can um grasp those goals and dreams and those things that you want to learn. So learn to the art of pivoting. There is no science to it. It's a little bit different for everybody, but it's an art because you get to be creative. You get to tweak it and do it in ways that'll work for you. So here, let me share a couple things because um I've, as I was reflecting into the last 2 months of the year, some things haven't gone that well for me. And I'm trying to tell you guys to do that, but I'm preaching to myself too because I need to continue to learn and grow. For example, I pride myself in being a reader. And to be honest, this last 2 months, my reading habits have been kind of weird. They haven't been consistent. And it bothers me. It eats me up because I want to have this perfect score of saying that I'm reading X amount of books a month or a week or a year. And that's not going to be the case. So what am I going to just stop reading? That does that mean that reading doesn't work? No, that means that I'm going to get back up and I'm going to grab a book today and I'm going to start reading and create that habit and that new consistency. What about like working out? That's something that I've been committed to doing too. And guess what? Life has happened and I haven't been as consistent in the gym as I wanted to be. I haven't had that perfect score of saying I was in the gym 5 or 6 times a week or all that. I haven't had that. So does that mean that I'm not going to get healthy? Not at all. That means I'm just going to readjust and be like, okay, I'm going to start all over again and make sure that I start a new consistent work habit and make sure that I start working out. Because at the end of the day, it's not how many times I'm in the gym, but it's the progress that I'm finding and I'm seeing and what I'm learning in that process to be able to get to that desired lifestyle I want in my health. What else? How about when I've been trying to get up early and make sure that I have time for myself so I can do some journaling, meditating, being able to have some spiritual development in my life. But guess what? It hasn't happened like that consistently in the last 2 months. Again, I'm not going to quit. I'm just going to adjust and make sure that I continue breaking through. This is the thing, everybody. There is way too much year left in this 2024 for us to be quitting, for us to be feeling defeated, for us to be thinking that we're not going to be able to accomplish whatever that dream or that vision that we set in front of us. It is way too early to be having these defeating conversations. My goodness. For those of you who have added to the statistic of Quitters Day 2 Fridays into the new year, that is way too early to be deciding whether you're going to accomplish anything this year. So I want you to get back up and I want you to continue and to learn to pivot and learn to adjust and adapt. Okay? So I want you to look at your dreams and your goals and have them in front of you and go, okay, what am I going to adjust and what am I going to adapt? How do I need to change this so I can still accomplish what I wanted to do? Okay. Well, maybe you wanted to read 12 books this year and you haven't read any so far. Okay. I think you can still adapt enough to be able to read 12 books. But let's say that that's not going to be the case and you're going to end up reading 10 books. Is it going to be that bad that you read 10 books, you're going to learn and you still grew and you still change your life? Not at all. So be willing to learn from those mistakes and say, hey, I'd rather you read one book this year than no book at all. Learn to to uh, um, to accept these different things and grow from that. Because you know what, you could have read 12 books this year and still not learned anything. So it's not just about the action aspect of it. Of course, we need to put action, we need to put practice, we need to build good habits. But if you're doing all that and you're gaining all this knowledge and you're doing diddly squat with it, well, I don't know if you're better off, you're no better off than somebody else who didn't even start. So I want you to make sure that you're having a growth mindset, not just a goal mindset. So you're actually learning and growing. I believe in you guys. I believe in what you're doing. And I think you can get better. And when you learn how to get better, your leadership levels are going to evolve. You're going to personally grow. You're going to personally develop, which then in return, your leadership development is going to get better. And you're going to learn how to lead others. You're going to learn how to lead yourself. And you're going to learn how to lead your business, your company, your projects, whatever it is that you're trying to work on. Those ingredients will come in together and you're going to build something. You're going to reflect at the end of the year and you're going to go, wow, that is not at all what I planned. That's not at all the journey that I thought it was going to take. It was tough. It was hard. It was great. It was exciting. Wow. I did something really cool this year and I still accomplished something. And that's what really matters, is that you're becoming a better version of yourself. And in that, man, you're just gonna continue adding these building blocks. And so I wanna encourage you to remember why you started in the first place. Why is it that you had that vision? Why is it that you had those dreams? And so remember that the path is not always going to be straight. It's going to take some curves and some turns, some U-turns, some loops. It might not look pretty, but let's keep that vision in the forefront and let's learn to pivot along the way and not quit. Let's learn to adjust, adapt. Let's learn to pivot so we can still accomplish some great things in life. Okay? Don't be a quitter. Be somebody who learns to pivot and learn. And so I want to leave you with that today. Thank you for joining me. I want to encourage you to continue to dream big. I want you to continue to grow always and to lead well. All right. I'll see you on the next episode. Thanks for joining me. Bye for now.